In the old town of Iron Karam, presently a piece of Jerusalem, Araya and Tal Shoshone are flaunting their revamped home. However, as they roll up a carpet and open a wooden hidden entryway, obviously this is no standard property. Under the deck, an old mystery is stowing away and a potential association with the book of scriptures itself. The family in Jerusalem found a noteworthy mystery concealing under their lounge flooring planks. But before we get subscribing to our channel, this is the best way to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest historical journeys content. It's like having a direct line to our channel. Let's get started. A few years beforehand, the Shinchan had purchased a property and Iron Karam wanting to track down a home with some set of experiences. However, eventually, they got beyond anything they could have expected. As they dealt with re-establishing the structure, they found something that goes back 1,000s of years, a remnant from the hours of Christ. Sooner or later throughout the long term, this pivotal revelation was last vanishing underneath the underpinnings of one of Iron Karam's notable stone houses. In any case, presently on account of the Shim beginning possibility revelation, it's arisen into the light again, and subject matter authorities agree it could have broad ramifications. For quite a long time, many have accepted that Withering Karam was once a significant scriptural area that is depicted in the book of Luke. Be that as it may, in spite of their doubts, archaeologists have been not able to demonstrate the association. Presently, however, one more part throughout the entire existence of this captivating area has been uncovered, one that could change how we might interpret the Christian world. Today, Karam sits inside the restrictions of cutting-edge Jerusalem, among the most established regions in his city previously saturated with history. Be that as it may, 1,000s of years prior, it was a town by its own doing. Set in the mountains, its foundations can, as a matter of fact, be followed back to the Iron Age, while everybody from the Crusaders to the Romans have ignored through the ages. In the 600 years, the town of Iron Karam likewise fostered a standing as a significant scriptural area. As indicated by some, it was where John the Baptist had been conceived, and where his mom had met the one who might bring forth Jesus Christ. Besides, it became known as where the materials utilized in the development of the second Jewish sanctuary in Jerusalem came from many years after the fact. Iron Karam is a clamoring suburb of Jerusalem, known for its pleasant limited roads, popular eateries, and dynamic expressions and specialties scene. Be that as it may, similar to quite a bit of this old city, it likewise conceals a plenty of old mysteries. Also, just underneath the outer layer of the roads and homes, many entrancing fortunes are ready to be uncovered. In 2019, for instance, a group from the Israel Relics Expert for IAEA declared that they found the remaining parts of an old road underneath Jerusalem, battled to have been worked by Pontius Pilate, the one who sentenced Jesus to be executed. The walkway was first on earth in the 19th 100 years. However, presently, specialists have followed its full degree, which comes to across the city's noteworthy focus to Sanctuary Mount. The next year, scientists declared that they'd found a progression of underground lodes close to the site of Jerusalem's second Jewish sanctuary, accepted to be around 1,400 years of age. The rooms were slashed from the stone of the city. Right now, be that as it may, their motivation stays muddled. Were these underground rooms associated with the extraordinary complex that one remained on Jerusalem's Sanctuary Mount, or were they part of something different through and through because of the city's long and complex history? Prehistoric studies in the locale has consistently demonstrated something of a test, albeit one that offers a lot of rich prizes. In any case, the Israelite connect with the city was briefly cut off when the Romans again banished them in 70 promotion. After the Romans, Jerusalem passed under the control of a progression of Muslim expresses whose individuals likewise viewed as the city a position of extraordinary strict significance. And, surprisingly, however, Christian crusaders battled to recover what they saw as their sacred land until the 13th 100 years. The area eventually stayed under Islamic control. Obviously, all that changed in 1917 when war the Second Great War achieved the fall of the Islamic Caliphate. At that point, Jerusalem was important for the nation of Palestine going under English control during the time of obligatory Palestine. Then, at that point, in 1948, the country of Israel was established, and the locale was tossed into additional turmoil. For a very long time, Jerusalem was isolated into two segments, with Jordan responsible for the eastern part and Israel holding influence in the west. Also, as this new request was laid out, numerous occupants, for example, the Bedouins residing in the neighborhood of Ein Kerem, were constrained to leave their homes. Then, in 1967, one more conflict broke out. This time, the Israeli powers assumed command over Jerusalem completely, including destinations thought about sacrosanct by both those of the Jewish and Muslim beliefs, and even today, struggle encompassing the area proceeds. Be that as it may, while the fate of the city stays dubious, the past develops more clear consistently as huge archaeological revelations keep on rising up out of the bedrock and Ein Kerem. The most recent of these disclosures came kindness of Tal and Darius Shoshone, who bought a home in the local a few years back, and a 2015 meeting with NBC News showed up. I have made sense of that. The family once lived external Jerusalem. At the end of the day got back to the city. I really want a house with stones which are talking, she said, and the home that the couple would come to buy surely had a lot to tell. Having tracked down a reasonably noteworthy house to make their home, the Shimshon has started reclamation work at some point in 2012. Addressing Business Insider in 2015, Araya made sense of we began work disposing of a large number of layers of ground surface and lines. However, at that point something surprising occurred. They found a mystery chamber underground. Sooner or later, while the laborers were separating flooring, the drill vanished. The RIAA proceeded, that just plunged descending. Obviously, the instrument had punched through a layer of limestone into an enormous space underneath. Furthermore, when they investigated, they were faced by a dumbfounding sight, a chamber containing a custom shower, going back very nearly 2,000 years. At first, nonetheless, the Shimshon were uncertain what to do about the mystery concealed underneath their lounge floor. Obviously, enlisting noteworthy disclosures in Israel can be a perplexing cycle, and they were put off by the challenges that they realized it would involve. Thus, they hid the chamber underneath a bunch of wooden secret entryways, still unsure about how to manage the chamber underneath their home. The Shimshon organized a floor covering and seats over the hidden entryways, and for quite a long time, the revelation stayed confidential. Be that as it may, as Araya told Business Insider, this thing gave us no rest, and in the long run, the family chose to advise the specialists. In any case, the most fascinating thing about the shower found underneath the Shoshone home is that it's in the locale Divine Kerem. In the Book of Scriptures, the area of John the Baptist's birth and the setting of his mom's experience with the Virgin Mary is depicted as a town in the sloped nation of Judea. Throughout the long term, numerous researchers have endeavored to recognize this area, which the Book of Luke subtleties with the neighborhood of Ein Kerem. For sure, there's even a Catholic church in the space that is named after Street John the Baptist. However, as of not long ago, minimal in that frame of mind of archaeological proof had been found to help this association. As a matter of fact, prior proof to help the presence of a Jewish people group and Ein Kerem during the Second Sanctuary timeframe has been piecemeal, best-case scenario, as well as another MC that archaeologists have likewise old walls and olive press and some internment destinations. However, presently, because of the Shem Kindness's disclosure, the contention seems more grounded. This multitude of occasions occurred quite a while back in the times of the Second-Time Sanctuary in Jerusalem. Yet, up to this point, we did have archaeological proof supporting the thought that there was a Jewish people group and Ein Kerem during that period. Discard Rim, a paleontologist with the IAEA, told Business Insider. Bream concedes that there isn't yet any definitive confirmation connecting the shower underneath the Shimshon is his home with the tale of John the Baptist. By the by, He accepts that the mikveh was once involved by sincere Jews in the encompassing soil. It appears archaeologists found proof that ceremonies had once been significant at the site. In Jewish legend, clay carries out are viewed as polluted once they've been utilized in strict customs. In that capacity, they're ordinarily crushed up thereafter, though their stone partners are viewed as impenetrable, thus can be reused. Underneath the Shoshone occupants, archaeologists revealed relics that recommend his training had been stuck to while the site was being used. Strangely, that was the main disclosure that archaeologists made while examining the mikveh. On nearer assessment, they likewise recognized proof that the shower had been burned by fires sooner or later during its long history. Mike, the harm had been supported in 70 promotion when the Romans blockaded Jerusalem. Starting in 66 promotion, the principal Jewish-Roman conflict saw the number of inhabitants in Judah ascend contrary to the Roman realm. Be that as it may, only 4 years after the fact, the revolt was squashed and the subsequent sanctuary destroyed. Obviously, connecting the harm in the MC that to this tempestuous period in Jerusalem's history enticing. Rian rushed to bring up, however, that specialists presently can't seem to lay out when the very last auction happened in Jewish custom, and make this a custom shower that assumes a significant part in strict functions. What's more, even today, disciples are obliged to lower themselves in its waters on the off chance that they wish to turn into a devotee of Judaism. Furthermore, prospective married ladies should likewise submit to a comparable interaction. As a matter of fact, the MC that today is utilized similarly as it was thousands of years prior, when the shower underneath the Shoshone home was fabricated. The basically drenching in its waters is viewed as a demonstration of sanitization, which is performed after exercises like the utilization of particular sorts of meat. As per halakha, or Jewish regulation, the MC should be worked to specific details, which are reflected in the size of this new disclosure. Strangely, there is likewise a conviction that a characteristic water source, instead of something fake, for example, a tap ought to be utilized to top off the shower. Today, this normally implies tackling and separating precipitation. However, what might have been utilized thousands of years prior, right now, the Shimshon have been not able to lay out the first hotspot for the MC under their home. Addressing Business Insider, Tal made sense of. It actually tops off with water in the colder time of year. Where it comes from, we don't know.